father. Maybe that's the reason you be targeting the women. Let somebody try your mama, bet you probably wanna.
I like to tell the people home, I feel so safe tonight with all this police protection courtesy of G Unit.
Just a kerfuffle. I didn't understand his dialect.
Lawbreeze and Gentlegrams, the king of the South who had 50 fleeing the pounds and punches and regretting the things that his mouth or Twitter fingers concocted. It's all got Tip locked in and he's not clocking out of this verbal slaughter. Sons and daughters dancing on 50's creative grave and they're not taking shade for granted. Every post and caption 50 had Tiny tagged in is retaliated with quick, swift diss hits from T.I. and his infants. So let's get in this, but first I insist please give a big kiss to the like and subscribe buttons for the effort I give this.
I study
Rapaholics
for a living.
No, Lawbreeze and Gentlegrams, you guys are killing me in the comments of my last video, alright? I woke up and I'm like, what is going on here? You would have thought I was the one dissing T.I. and his family. And you know what? When I'm wrong, I'll admit it at all times, alright? And if you guys think I was discrediting or downplaying Tip's influence or his legacy in any regard, I apologize for that because that was absolutely not the message I was trying to get across. In fact, you could check out my previous video on the matter. I'll link it in the description. I was trying to document the entire career trajectory of both 50 and T.I. to emphasize the fact that after around 2007, T.I., thanks to his consistency, really lapped 50 Cent when you look at their entire catalogs. But in my opinion, and again, this could just be my Canadian I was about to say my Canadian virus. No, my Canadian bias.
Spicy.
I admit, and I admitted in my last video, I'm a complete outsider to judge this kind of verses, right? I was not growing up in the South actually witnessing firsthand T.I.'s impact on Southern hip-hop. I was around 12 years old when Paper Trail dropped, right? And I was definitely very into T.I. Pause, maybe. But T.I. versus T.I.P. and Paper Trail, those were albums heavy in my rotation in my LimeWire-infected PSP that I was listening to my music on at the time.
Everywhere just got better.
I just, from my perspective, and I'll stand by this point specifically, especially after seeing 50 Cent actually on his arena tour in 2023 when he performed, you know, all his greatest hits. I think when you're judging just 20 of their best songs, T.I. versus 50 Cent, I still think 50 Cent would have T.I. beat by a wide margin. But again, that's just my opinion. And most importantly, my opinion was never that T.I.'s catalog was anything light. I even said in that video, when you're judging like catalog versus catalog, T.I. might have him beat, but if you're just talking 20 songs, it'd be very tough just because I believe there's 10 songs on Get Rich or Die Trying, and if you want me to post them in the comments, I could. But there's 10 songs on that classic track list alone that would be very tough competition, in my opinion, for any rapper in history.
Those 3 Big Macs are for me!
And you could say T.I. was the underdog. He didn't have the Eminems and Dr. Dre's backing him. Where would 50 be without that Dr. Dre production, right? T.I. had to make a name for himself by himself when the South was widely discredited, which it might still be to this day because who knows, maybe T.I. would be worthy competition for a 50 Cent or a Lil Wayne because he was trying to get a versus with both of them. T.I. was dropped from his initial record deal because his first album didn't perform the way they wanted it to. This was before Ludacris, before Jeezy, before Gucci Mane all cemented that, you know, the South was a force to be reckoned with, and T.I. had to carry that on his back and prove to the world that the South had amazing talent very early on, and that's definitely not something to discredit.
The next step after I'm serious, I had to really pick myself up because that shit didn't take off the way we anticipated. But I knew that every time a motherfucker heard my shit, they fuck with it. So what I did was, it was a storage room that they kept all of the goddamn them promotional CDs, them big boxes of shit ain't nobody had done gave out of my shit. I got all of them and we hit the road. We started selling them motherfuckers, passing them out everywhere around here. Birmingham, Montgomery, goddamn South Carolina. Pushing and moving that shit and connecting with DJs and then when we start burning that motherfucker up and we start gaining the notoriety and making a name for ourselves in that light, man, it was cool, man. I think everything happened for a reason because it forced me to learn the game from an independent record label standpoint.
Like I said, I was around 12 years old when Paper Trail dropped, so you can only imagine how much I love Lil Wayne's music. He took heavy inspiration from a lot of New York acts like Dipset or Jay-Z. Meanwhile, T.I. always repped the South to its core and pioneered that trap music sound. So most definitely in no way was I ever trying to discredit T.I. as, a worthy opponent for any of the greatest rappers in history that we've seen when you're going catalog for catalog. But when you're talking 20 songs versus 20 songs on a live stage, it's a very interesting conversation. And I think 50's greatest 20 hits would be extremely tough competition for a lot of rappers. Now, that doesn't excuse the fact that, like I said in my previous video, 50 is getting his butt absolutely handed to him on a silver platter with caviar and Wagyu steak by not just T.I., but his entire family in this battle. And it's been putting 50 in a compromised position that we haven't seen him in many years, if not decades. The last time I could remember 50 Cent really losing the court of public opinion when it comes to a rap beef was in 2009 with Rick Ross. Ross's song Mafia Music and just all the output that we saw from Ross at the time showed to the world that 50 was far past his heyday, and Rick Ross, which, by the way, is another catalog that gets heavily overlooked. At the time, yeah, it showed he was there to dominate for the next few years.
Kudo Bugatti Coupe, I call it Katy Perry.
And then before that, you saw 50 get his butt handed to him by Kanye West in that sales battle. Jadakiss, obviously no pun intended, checkmated him. But now it's looking like he's the latest victim to T.I. And I said in my last video, I think 50 is kind of approaching this whole thing the same way Drake did with his battle between him and Kendrick. Number one, he's making this a 20v1, right? The same way Drake spent too much of his time dissing A$AP Rocky, The Weeknd, Future, Metro Boomin, Rick Ross, etc. 50 has spent a lot of his time trolling not just T.I., but also his sons, Fabulous, Mano, Jim Jones. He's not keeping his eye on the one specific target. And just like Drake, who
studies rap battles for a living.
Cap.
Just like Drake, who was posting a slew of vile memes aimed at Kendrick during the height of their battle before Kendrick had even responded with Euphoria, 50 was doing the same thing, trolling T.I. and his family very heavily on Instagram, prior to this situation escalating to the point where the entire world's asking, when is 50 actually going to get in the booth? Because it's gotten to a point where T.I. has you in such a compromised position that if you don't actually rap back, you just look like a clown. And thirdly, of course, Drake was always acting like he was too big to respond to a Kendrick or to anyone in that battle. The first number one I had to put it in your hand is what he said. 50 Cent is kind of doing the same thing. Crap. I mean, he deleted the frickin' Instagram post. He deleted all his posts that were aimed at T.I. Like, he's really trying to back out of this thing. But at first, he made a post that was basically saying, like, I don't need to rap. You need me to rap because you need me to diss you back to gain publicity to actually sell records. But now he's posting things like this where he says, to entertain is to provoke emotions. Love me or hate me, it's cool. Just care enough to feel some kind of way. Tomorrow's going to be a slow news day or y'all can just make some stuff up. I'm busy, LOL. So he's already copying please, and even worse than that, you guys, just like Drake, he is losing this battle and goes to the number one deflection point in 2026, which is that 50 Cent, unfortunately, is blaming the hate train he's receiving on the bots. The bots, guys. Sooner or later, he's gonna be freaking suing over this thing just like Drake did.
I study
Suing
for a living.
Look at this, you guys. He made an Instagram post saying, Flightland, you know the vibes, new heat coming soon. Just trying to distract the public with some new projects he has going on. And he left a comment on this post saying, LOL, the bots are not gonna buy the albums. Guys, he's trying to blame the bots for all the hate comments he's receiving of fans just begging him to get in the booth.
Embarrassing.
So again, I like to be transparent with you guys, all right, where my bias lies. And I guess you could say my bias lies in the fact that I grew up on Get Rich or Die Trying. I grew up on 50's Run. So like I emphasized before, I do think in a 20 versus 20 song battle, 50 Cent would be very tough competition for T.I. But what I said in my past video, and I'll say it again here, when you're judging this beef from a 2026 lens, 50 is absolutely getting dogpiled, and it's ridiculous how he's handling this thing. At the time that I'm recording this, I can't even freaking keep up. I think T.I. has dropped 4 diss records already aimed at 50 Cent. And I think T.I.'s sons have also dropped 4 diss records of their own aimed at 50. So already they've outworked the number of diss tracks that Kendrick aimed at Drake. And at the time of this recording, we have not heard 50 Cent respond in an actual diss record. And he's deleted all of his Instagram posts that were aimed at T.I. and his family. So we're going to review everything that has happened so far. And just in case you guys aren't caught up to speed, we're going to take it all the way freaking back. But if you're just here to kind of break down the new diss records that came from T.I.'s sons and from himself, I'll leave a little timestamp on this video. You can probably skip ahead about 10 minutes here. But the context is important because this issue has actually been bubbling up for over half a decade at this point. Yes, I know COVID feels like it was just yesterday, but really it was over 5 years ago, and T.I.'s been calling 50 Cent out ever since. But the beef recently reemerged when T.I. had went on the Shannon Sharpe podcast, and he was saying that 50 Cent for the past 5+ years has been ducking the smoke for a versus battle. Yes, Tip has been trying to make it happen. He's been ready and waiting, and 50 Cent has been in hiding.
When I was talking to Swizz, I was like, shit, man, yeah, I'd do it. But, really, the motherfucker that really would be the one, it ain't gonna happen. But if Gucci, Young and Gucci, that the one. And then he hit me back. He was like, shit, Tip, don't even trip. I think we gonna get Gucci to do it. I said, well, you don't need me then. But that's the one.
Hold up,
what I mean?
But didn't Jeezy and Gucci already?
No, they were before it happened.
Oh, okay, before it happened.
Before it happened, they were talking to me.
Okay. But I'm saying, so right now.
And then I called my man. I said who I wanted.
You want Weezy?
Nah, I said I wanted 50. That's what I said. He don't want no smoke, though.
Oh, Lord.
I called my man. He don't want no smoke. He ducking smoke. It's cool. So now, here we are trying to think about other people who would do it. You know what I'm saying?
Damn.
We mentioned Wayne, and Wayne wouldn't be bad. I respect Wayne. I'm a Hot Boy fan. Ooh.
Damn.
Yeah.
Tip said he want 50.
I like that.
Yeah. I mean,
So let me ask you a question. So it's 20 songs.
Yeah.
It's 20 songs. So let me ask you a question. So is it all your songs, or can it be something that you were featured on?
I mean, I believe it could be anything that you had something to do with.
So you'll see as we unpack this issue deeper that 50 Cent has warned T.I. ever since he started bringing up this versus stuff to just stay away from 50. He's like, you don't want to go near me. I'm not a likable guy. Now, that doesn't excuse the activity that we've seen from 50 on social media over the last few days, but you can't say T.I. wasn't warned. Now, after, this Shannon Sharpe clip started circulating with T.I. saying that 50 Cent was scared of the verses, 50 Cent posted on Instagram several videos of T.I. allegedly cooperating in the courtroom and doing a Crime Stoppers commercial, implying T.I. is a snitch. I have no, comment on that. But 50 captioned it saying, No, I don't like it. No verses. Let's do the stay away challenge and stay away from me, LOL.
Some people call me Tip, but this is about another kind of tip that can help our mothers, our sisters, our brothers, and our fathers help get the perpetrators who commit crimes against them off the streets. All you got to do is call Crime Stoppers Atlanta. Tips can be anonymous, and there's even a reward. The number to Crime Stoppers Atlanta is 404-577-8477. That's 404-577-TIPS. Channel 2, community coverage you can count.
Mm-hmm.
You recognize who that is?
Yeah, that's Phil.
Okay.
Oh, that's his body.
In 34A.
Yeah, that's the entry wound.
Okay. And that's a picture of Falant with the bullet hole in his head?
Yes, it is.
And that's the bullet hole that you described to the jury as being in his temple on the left side?
Yeah.
How did Falant's family find out about his death?
I told him. I called his mom first, then I told his cousin. I told his little girl.
How old was his little girl?
His daughter was 4 years old at the time. 5 years old at the time.
And how did you tell his daughter that her father was dead?
He's in a better place and he won't be coming back.
Now after this, things would escalate because T.I. would make an appearance on the $1 Million Worth of Game podcast, and he would talk about the fact that his intentions with this versus battle was not to actually beef or battle in any capacity. It was really supposed to be a celebration of catalogs. T.I. feels that the South doesn't get the credit it deserves, and he thinks it would have been a good way to kind of show the world how impactful his catalog, one of the best Southern catalogs, is when placing it head-to-head against a New York classic catalog. And he explains again that it was 5 years ago that they spoke on doing a Versus, because if you guys didn't know, that's when Versus were really popular.
I seen you call for the Versus, man.
Man.
And you said you called the whole state out.
Nah, no, I didn't.
You don't want to do anybody up that way. Hold on, wait a minute. The whole East Coast, anybody up that way was.
I mean, yeah, I'm with that, but that wasn't my intention. You know what I'm saying? To give a blanket statement, because to be honest, that was something that's exactly what I'm asking not to do to us.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So I try to make a conscious effort to treat the way I want to be treated. You know what I mean? So, you know, I spoke to the that I wanted to speak to. That video when I was in the studio talking to Kev, that for years, like 2021 type shit.
Okay.
That was an old video.
Oh, that they resurfaced.
Yeah. That was an old video because when the first jumped off, and it crazy hell to me. Okay, so first, like, you know, it was really about celebrating each other's catalog. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah. That what the supposed to be about. It supposed to be about, you know, around doing something with another artist that, you know, that you respect, this, that, and the other.
Right.
And so even the first time when I was saying, and mind you, me and then talk about this, bro. This just called the blue. Yeah. Me and then talk about this.
So let's understand, you know, how this thing even started in the first place. When T.I. got the idea to call out 50 for a Versus, and, you know, how did he actually invite 50 to it? Because according to T.I., this was something they actually spoke about doing 5 years ago. But his social media activity might present a different narrative to this story. See, way back in 2020 when everyone was wearing a mask on their face, T.I. had got on Instagram Live to say that he was not scared of anyone in a Versus battle. He would even go head-to-head against Eminem. And of course, this is where he calls out 50 Cent for the first time, but doesn't really call him out in a way where it seems like they already spoke about doing a Versus against one another. This seemed more like a general kind of shot at any rapper saying like, I'm down to do a Versus and I'll go up against anyone.
I heard it 50 Cent birthday. Well, happy birthday, 50. Appreciate you for, you know what I'm saying, staying down, remaining healthy, alive, and free for so long, man. But for your birthday, I offer you a challenge, sir. Pull your ass up, man, with 20 of your records, man. Sit across from me, man, and get this work, man. You know what I'm saying? But I understand if you don't want to answer to that challenge, because last time you got challenged, Kanye where dusted your ass off. So, you might not want to do that. So, well, guess who ain't scared of your mother ass, 50? Look, man, pull up. Pull on up, 50. Bring your ass on outside, 50. Bring your records, bring your hit records with you. You and Dr. Dre and Eminem and all y'all, goddamn the G Unit, all y'all bring y'all bring y'all ass on out. Come on, see the king. Come on, see the king. And I actually, you know, me and you know, we all right. You know, I fuck with you, 50. I fuck with you, 50. It ain't you this time. It's your catalog that got some trouble. You understand? Your motherfucking catalog is in trouble.
Spice.
I done damn said it. So 50, pull your ass on up. You know what I mean? Everybody been talking about me and Jeezy, and then they talking about me and Gucci, and then they want to talk about me. Listen, man. I want 50. I want 50. Atlanta and New York, nigga. That's what we doing. ATL in New York, nigga. That's what we doing. I want 50. Somebody call 50, tell him I'm on it. Let's see how long you have before you respond to my message. You know what I'm saying? You have been challenged, sir. Swizz, Timberland, hook the motherfucking speakers up. God damn it. Tired of talking about it. God damn it. Y'all goddamn settle times. Man been goddamn picking on people for so long. Man been bullying y'all, throwing motherfuckers around. Bring your ass on out, 50. Let's see what this shit gonna be back. But enjoy your birthday though.
Him and 50 would actually go back and forth back then as well on social media. 50 Cent even posted the Crime Stoppers commercial that he posted again 6 years later. He posted that way back in 2020. Now, T.I. would respond by posting his own post on Instagram that's now deleted with him saying, pick a date. And 50 would respond posting a picture of T.I.'s not so connected beard hair, and it said, Brother, your beard is not quite connecting, just like your music. You do know I did 10 million copies sold on the second album too. You just make sure you're at work on time, okay? 50 would continue defending the impact of his debut Get Rich or Die Trying, also writing a post saying, "My run permanently damaged the culture. Get Rich or Die Trying expeditiously. Nah, bro, where is my exhibit in the Trap Museum? I moved more of that than y'all too. Facts." And then he posted a picture of a fly and a bee with the caption saying, "Even if the bee could explain to the fly why pollen is better than crap, the fly would not understand." And 50 had wrote saying, "So I just want to say to you, T.I., I'm clear you will never understand how much better I am than you are. Look, even my skin is darker than yours. I'm just a better specimen of a man than you, punk." And I love how for like the last, literally, since Instagram was conceived, every single time 50 Cent posts on there, it's usually dissing someone else, and he always ends off the post with a hashtag of whatever company he's trying to promote at that time. It's slimy, but it's smart marketing, I gotta say. Anyways, a year later in 2021, T.I. would be asked about a versus again, and he said that he already picked his opponent for a versus battle, and if it's not that opponent, then it can't be anyone. It wouldn't make sense for anyone else. And he's talking about 50 Cent, right? He rejects the idea of any Atlanta rapper going head-to-head against them. To me, I think his best competition would be either Jeezy or Ludacris, just because I feel like all three of them kind of accomplished, you know, similar things in very different lanes. Like, I don't even think any of their music sounds similar in any regard, but all three of them were kind of like the middle class of hip-hop, dropping like really good 7.5 out of 10 projects consistently every year for almost the entirety of the 2000s decade, right? All of them had highs, all of them had big hits, all of them had good projects, but none of them had to Get Rich or Die Trying. None of them had a year like Wayne had in 2008 or a run like Kanye West had. You could even throw Game in that category. I think the Game would be a good opponent against T.I. in a versus if he wants to expand out of, like, you know, the southern region. But in my opinion, 50 Cent, it's just dreaming a little too high.
I need to do a versus. I mean, I am extremely supportive of, you know, the platform. Extremely proud of Swizz and Tim.
There you go.
And I've enjoyed all of them. You know what I mean? It's a phenomenal concept.
Yes, thank you.
I ain't really found.
Can we get one more cup, Sharon? A couple cups, like 3 more cups.
I called who I wanted, man. I picked my man. I picked who I wanted. I ain't gonna go through here picking, keep re-picking. Man, I picked my man, man.
Yeah, we've been.
You know what I'm saying? And so if it ain't that, or if it ain't, you know what I mean? I ain't tripping. But I continue to support the brand. Everybody keeps saying me versus Luda. That's a great concept and a phenomenal idea, except he already went against Nelly. He went against Mama. You know what I'm saying? Well, here's a towel. Man, listen, man. Y'all can't up my battlefield, man. That's my.
Hold on.
They're my operating table.
Now, on a side note, someone back then, when T.I. was saying all this, actually made a good point, saying, I don't see 50 Cent up on that versus stage because Ciroc is sponsoring the whole thing, and we know what happened later with Diddy, right? But yes, like I told you guys before, even way back then, 50 Cent would issue a warning to T.I. to stop talking about him, right? He posted a video of T.I. talking about the versus battle, and he said, this was a week ago. This guy was just telling me about a comedy show he's working on backstage. I don't like this kind of stuff. It wouldn't be a good idea to come around me again. Respectfully. So you'll see later, T.I. says that he had told 50 about doing a versus and 50 had agreed to it before T.I. ever brought it to the public. Meanwhile, 50 is saying here T.I. is yapping his mouth off about a versus against 50 when they actually met and T.I. was talking about a comedy show. Nothing to do with the versus. So they both have very different stories, right?
When you're fighting a man with no arms, expect to get kicked. What they can.
But T.I. wouldn't take no for an answer. He would continue doubling down all throughout the year of 2021.
When it get down to the versus conversation about Puff and JD or me and 50 and that shit just hit different, bro. It's like, oh, okay, what you think, nigga? You think you can't, what? Bro, what's up? What you trying to say? What you trying to say, bro? Just 'cause you from New York, you saying just 'cause you from New York, nigga, you like, bruh, come on, man. We all getting money. We all having, you know what I mean? Everybody done did they shit. And for one, we can't ever get too mixed up in a conversation that's based on opinions. It's all based on opinions. You know what I mean? And then for a motherfucker to say, oh, nah, you can't see him. You ain't on his level. Why, nigga? Because you say so? Fuck is you? What have you done? What made you the motherfucking judge and the jury? The end all be all. I ain't gonna never let nobody tell me who the fuck I am and ain't fit to go against. Got me fucked up, partner. Nigga, I like me against anybody, everybody, all the time. I don't give a fuck who you are. So when I see JD tell Puff, shit, bro, I won't smoke.
So then we get back to the present day. Remember, this whole kind of issue got re-sparked after T.I. went on the Shannon Sharpe show and basically said that 50 Cent was ducking the smoke on a versus battle. Then 50 Cent goes to the cheap shot of calling T.I. a rat. Then T.I. gets on Instagram, posts a video of him rapping his new single, and he's doing so at a dinner table surrounded by his entire family, right? Something that, 50 Cent, like we reviewed earlier in this video, may not have the best relationship with, the mother of his children or his children themselves, right? So T.I. captioned this post saying, 50 Cent, I don't fear my past, I'm too focused on the future. Top 20 in 2 weeks and climbing. Now let him know that. I'm loved, not liked. And after this, 50 Cent would post video footage of T.I. having a phone call where he's basically in the studio frantically yelling about doing the verses. And 50 would caption this post saying, King Rat.
I want him to see what the South got to say. Now listen, hey, I'm the king below the Mason-Dixon line, king of the South. I speak for all of the Southern people. New York been saying shit under their breath about us and having little bullshit, slick-ass comments about us, thinking it's all slow down here. But they want to come down here and go to our malls and go to our clubs. But then they want to kick it like, nigga, we substandard when they get back up top. Well, that shit stop right now.
Yeah, you say you done with that.
That shit stop right now, goddammit. The king say that shit stop. He say he the king of New York, and if he don't want to do it, and one of them other niggas up there who got a goddamn catalog want to pull up, tell him come see the king. Don't come around me. Come sit down with me. Tell him come see. Goddammit, Andre told him the South had something to say, and I'm saying it. Period. Ain't no motherfucking dispute. We the shit. They last year. We the future. So anybody don't like it, come see the king. And we gonna start with 50. And if he don't want to do it, then we gonna go pick somebody else. But in order for him to not, he either gonna have to accept the challenge or bitch up. Those are the only two options. Let him know the king on his motherfucking trail. God damn it, I don't want nothing but action. I don't want nothing but action and opportunity. And I would love to get on live with you and go and do this shit in front of millions. Okay? Well, you just let me know, goddammit. Because I'm looking for a jet. He got a party tonight. I'm looking for a jet. I'm going up there and I'm going to commandeer his celebration.
Now, T.I. would comment on this post that 50 made, saying, 50 Cent, you're playing on my name when only one of us is a rat in real life. You know I got your paperwork, right? And my transcript is available online. Your excuses are useless. Get your HOE butt in the box or shut up and live in fear. You're soft, son. You've lost my respect. You're a duck. Then after these posts, like I showed you guys before, we get T.I. on the $1 Million Worth of Game podcast where they start asking about this beef, and T.I. goes into detail about, again, how he just wanted to do a friendly versus to celebrate their catalogs. 50 Cent, allegedly, according to T.I., had agreed on doing it. They spoke about it before T.I. spoke about it on social media, but then once he actually presented the idea on social media, 50 Cent basically pretended he didn't know what was going on. And at this point now, T.I. says he has no interest in standing on a stage with 50 Cent because 50 has crossed the line, but this is not even close to how far the line would get crossed.
We talked about this. We said what we were going to do.
You talking about you with 50?
Yeah, man. We talked about this shit, man. This shit come out of nowhere.
All right.
Moving around in LA, man, selling some TV shows and shit. We were around each other, man, you know what I mean? I said, think about this. Like, want to do that shit? Yeah. He was like, all right, cool. So shit. And I told him, I said, well, I'm gonna jump out there first, and then you just gonna jump out there and we'll line it up. Right. And he said, all right. And when I jump out there, like, he ain't know what the going on. Oh. And to me, that just, so, at that point, then that's what it was about. You know what I'm saying? Now, it's about, oh, you playing. Okay, you gonna play. All right, cool. But how about all of it? All of it. I don't even want man. Cause now I question your character. gonna get kick that kind of shit in, you know, man. Say you don't want to do it. All the other extra lame man, this shit goofy.
So y'all talked about it, you saying? You went
Yeah,
out there.
years ago. Years ago we spoke about it.
I think it'd be a great battle, though. I think.
Man, that shit gonna happen. That shit gonna happen, man. I don't want to stand on stage with him. I had no interest in standing on stage with that. I don't respect him.
Now.
Yes. Let's get to something else. $1 million worth of game. We don't really do the beef.
We want to get you back.
Nah, ain't no beef.
So after this $1 million worth of game podcast, 50 would post a pretty compromised and revealing picture of T.I.'s wife. Now again, this is just where things don't need to cross such a disgusting line, in my opinion at least. Like what are we doing here, right? It reminds me a lot of Drake, right? Like Drake kept bringing family into every rap battle that he had, but it's like he's the one that's not married, right? He's the one that's attacking someone who's in a happy, committed relationship. Same thing with 50, right? Like, look at the outcome that he had with all of his baby mothers, pretty much, and their children. T.I. is happily married to Tiny. They have a bunch of kids together. Why bring her into this thing? All because T.I. wanted a versus with you, right? But anyways, this is what he posted with the caption saying, "I keep saying, keep my name out your mouth." And T.I. would respond with an interesting comment saying, "You can post a fat HOE in a snowstorm on a unicycle juggling DILDOS and you'd still be an HOE. Sorry guys, there's crazy censorship laws out here, alright? Maybe one day I'll make a Patreon and we could, all talk crazy on there. But now, alright, this is where things would escalate to a whole other level, okay? So this is where T.I.'s very outspoken son jumps in the mix, and of course this is, the son of not just T.I. but also Tiny, who 50 had just posted on Instagram. And King is his name. He takes things a little too far, farther than 50 already took them, in my opinion, but it's also like 50 was the one who took them this far, right? So I guess all the cards are on the table at this point. So all bets are off. He starts bringing up, like we mentioned before, 50 Cent's deceased mother.
Say something about my mama. Your mama dead as fuck. Your mama dead as fuck. Go dig her up. Go dig her up. Post a picture of your mama. Nigga, she dead. Nigga. Pay respect. Nigga. Stop playing with my mama. Nigga. Playing like that, nigga, going like that, nigga. How y'all been raised? I'm not raised like that. I don't go. I'm not going about my mama, nigga. I'm not going. Nigga. So tell your dead ass mama dig her ass up and post a picture that look better than my mama, nigga. Fuck wrong with you, nigga. Y'all nigga tie y'all mama. Y'all nigga know who the fuck I fuck with. Nigga. You better put that music up and nigga, shut the fuck up, nigga. Cause all that other shit ain't gonna get it. On my mother. Your mama dead as fuck. Dig that bitch up. Not going. Nigga, not going. Now what the fuck you gonna do about that? Nigga, not going. I don't give a fuck how nigga dead. Nigga, not going. Nigga, post my mama like your mama ain't dead as fuck. Go put some flowers on that bitch grave, nigga. Man, nigga, posting my mama legend. Your mama J, nigga. Stop, man. Don't never think you can get on this level and you can compete with us, nigga. We on a whole different ball game. Nigga. We got a whole different type of level of respect around here. Nigga. You get on that do that big ass shit, nigga. You a whole ass nigga. I would say that shit to your face, nigga.
And King would double down on this whole thing, even posting a picture of 50 Cent's mother's tombstone onto his Instagram, tagging 50 Cent. Now, you would think that maybe T.I. and Tiny would try and stop their son from getting involved in all this disgustingness. But no, the whole family would double down. So at the time of this recording, King posted another thing on Instagram, a video of 50 Cent basically in court for a domestic violence charge. And he captioned it saying, "All you do is apply pressure to females, bring that smoke to the chimney, F guy. Just getting started at 50 Cent.
Curtis Jackson, 29-year-old who admitted to traveling and dating 3 women at a concert.
He attacked women. Women. We were just there to see a concert. We were not there to get beat up. We were not there to get hit.
The rapper with the gangster attitude stepped on 2 of the women and punched the 3rd in the face after jumping into the crowd in search of someone who threw a water bottle at him during a surprise concert at this club in May of 2004. Judge Robert Coomer accepted Jackson's admission of the facts, gave him a lecture on how this incident would reflect on the rapper's 9-year-old son, and then continued the case for 2 years without a finding. In the meantime, the rapper will have to submit to random drug tests, pay the medical expenses of his victims, pay court costs, undergo anger management treatment, and produce an anti-gun violence public service announcement. Jackson signed off on the deal.
Now, I also thought, again, that T.I. would maybe tell his son, hey, like, stop bringing up 50 Cent's dead mother. Like, that's kind of where we should maybe draw the line, especially this is, like, their child. But no, T.I. would actually join in on this. He dropped 4 diss tracks of his own, which we'll break down in a few minutes. But he posted another video of him sitting down with his whole family again at a dinner table. And this time he's got what seems to be his mother right next to him. And the caption is, "My biggest flex is being able to protect my mama till I could provide her a better life. Happy birthday, mama." Now, you guys know what this is in reference to, right? He's performing his 50 Cent diss song sitting next to his mom with this caption. But I'll give it to T.I. He was the only one out of the two to actually get in the booth. I mean, if this is a whole kind of battle to defend the honor, the legacy of your catalog, T.I. is at least trying to do what you're supposed to do in this situation and flex your actual skill set as an MC, right? If this is a battle of who is the better artist, T.I. is the only one actually bringing new art to the table in response to this situation. He's also bringing, you know, a table full of his family and a lot of trolling on Instagram, but he's mixing it in with some real bars as well. So one of the records he dropped is called The Right One, and this is my favorite diss track of this battle by far so far. "You ain't that savage, you're a 5-0 dispatcher. Old tender D guy, all mad cause Puff let your girl have it." Of course, this is in reference to Jane Doe in the Diddy trial, who many people assume to be 50 Cent's baby mother, which is such a crazy situation. And on the second verse, he goes even crazier, rapping, "Bring your butt outside and play in the street. You ain't no mother effing gangster, you just prey on the weak. Man, all you do is talk crap and hope it stay on the net. Play detective catching killers on some police stuff. Grown man making memes, that's a weird flex." Obviously, if you're familiar with 50 Cent's internet activity, social media activity, you know what these bars are in reference to, right? And he keeps alluding to the fact that 50 is the one who's a rat, not T.I. himself, right? Then he makes more references to Diddy, but mainly the aspect of the fact that 50 Cent created this whole documentary when Diddy was already, you know, sentenced and serving this 4-year trial, right? He was down. And that's when 50 really chose to attack him, right? When he was at his weakest point. So he raps, "Kick a guy while they're down, you're a sucker for that. Having a moment, hate to let this guy injure my life, but I'll give him the Cajun salt about mentioning my wife." We know, of course, again, like we reviewed, 50 Cent was posting T.I.'s wife on his Instagram. Now, he doubles down and says, you know, maybe you're hitting all these low blows, attacking women for no reason and stuff because you've never actually received love from a woman, maternal love, in your childhood, right? He raps, "You hate women, guess that's why you can't keep one. You can't love them, cause from your mama you received none. Oh no, you'd rather set fires to houses with babies in them. I got paperwork from guys in prison, your name is in them." Now, the whole burning houses down thing, that's in reference to a May 2008 incident where a home that was lived in by 50 Cent, his now ex-girlfriend Shanika Tompkins, and their son was destroyed in a highly suspicious fire. And 50 Cent actually ended up suing her for defamation because she allegedly claimed he was involved in the fire. And the kind of like crazy contrast is the fact that, again, his own mother, 50's own mom, lost her life in a fire, her house burning down, right? So for T.I. to kind of draw this comparison, like, you don't love women, you mistreat them, you've never had love in your life because your mother wasn't there to give you any, and instead you want to kind of give the women in your life the same fate that your own mother had, with their lives ending in a burnt down home. It's a pretty crazy parallel to draw here. Very, very dark. And T.I. continues rapping, "Morals won't break or bend him. New Yorkers, you're gonna defend him? This is your king, huh? He been a victim from the get-go. Murder Inc. pumped his butt full of bullet holes. Cam did him like a HOE on the radio. Took losses from Rick Ross and Fat Joe, remember that? Jada spanked that baby thinking it's sweet. Kanye stood up to him, made his first week a defeat. It always happened. Too much yapping, people slapping your cheeks, so what the F you're gonna think out here playing with me?"
Spicy.
You got the right one. King. I like it, you guys, and while I wouldn't say that T.I. can hold a candle to 50 Cent in an actual versus battle, I do think that this type of track deserves a response from 50 Cent in the form of a record of his own. 100%. 50 Cent was talking crazy on a song like 2 months ago, talking about, you know, guns and shooting and this and that. Like, if he's still somewhat active, even in a small degree, there's no excuse for him to not be taking all those Twitter fingers to an actual recording studio and writing something that could shut this conversation up for good. Now, I don't think he actually will, if you want my opinion. He's already posting more memes of T.I.'s son. I didn't realize T.I. and his son were starring in the same movie, and then he, like, AI photoshopped his own face, 50's own face, into this little clip. I'm going to try to play it for you guys, but we might get copyrighted here.
What's up, man? Boom! Ooh, got your ass.
Now remember, this entire beef had escalated because 50 Cent had posted an image of T.I.'s wife, the mother of his children, onto Instagram, which in my opinion is a very disgusting low blow. And just like Drake in the Kendrick beef, when you get family involved, well, what did Kendrick say? Don't speak on the family, Crotty. It could get deep in the family, Crotty. Just bringing you guys some Canadian culture there. Drop a like from my Toronto accent. But yeah, 50 posted this image. And ever since then, all bets have been off, and it's not just T.I. responding, it's again his children as well. Rightfully so, they're defending their mother's honor. And on a side note, it's so crazy to me to see like T.I.'s sons rapping and Lil Wayne's sons rapping. Like, they're really adopting that kind of new school sound, like very influenced from the Ken Carsons and Yeats and all that, but still integrating like a little sprinkle of their father's influence into this. So this was the first record dropped by T.I.'s son King on 50 Cent's Head Top.
This, I ignore him, but my angels, they go for him. Speaking of my mama, I tell Chess, ring the alarm. Probably cross his leg and fold his arm.
But, you know, T.I.'s sons being Gen Z, they understand the power and influence of social media as well. So they didn't stop at just diss records. They were also posting some insane stuff on their respective social media platforms after 50 Cent deleted all the posts he's made about T.I.'s family. So one picture they posted was 50 Cent holding a DILDO. Now, I don't know where the hell they found this picture, but this is insane.
Spicy.
And of course, the caption was even worse. They said, hashtag no AI, Curtis the Johnson juggler, diss the magic stick you're talking about. I know this tough and buff person ain't out here in the general public gripping D in real life. This what you gotta do to sell out Broadway, huh, 50? Keep posting. You got the right ones this time. Damn, Miss Jackson, your son a freaky man. Wish you was here to whoop his behind. Now, before 50 Cent had actually deleted all the posts he made aimed at T.I.'s family, he actually tried to bring Jay-Z and Beyonce's family involved in this whole thing, you guys, all right? So Beyonce's mom, Tina Knowles, she had posted in support of Tiny because, of course, 50 Cent was posting Tiny all over his Instagram, disrespecting her. She posted this, saying, "Oh, this made my morning. Thank you so much, Queen." And 50 would then post a picture of Tina Knowles on his Instagram saying, "I'm not gonna do it, but this stuff is getting weird. Little effed up albino kids, grandmothers getting involved. What the F, LOL." And then he tries to, send a little dig at Jay-Z saying, "These rap guys are soft. You gotta watch out for these killers. They will get you in the elevator, LOL." And obviously he's referencing, the whole Jay-Z, Solange Knowles, and Beyonce debacle in the elevator from years ago. And of course, the last rapper to whip 50's behind in a beef, who 50 is still not reconciled to this day, Rick Ross, he jumped in to show his support to T.I. and the new album that T.I. is about to release.
Y'all stream that new T.I., man, that new T.I. shit, right one, that shit on fire. Tip, we want to see them old schools at the car show. ATL, let Tip know after y'all stream that nigga new shit, that shit hot. I fuck with that.
Now, 50 Cent would continue making excuses. He left a comment on an Instagram post that was referencing the fact that 50 Cent, like I mentioned before in this video, had warned T.I. to stay away from him way back in 2021. And 50 had said, T.I. knows this, he's just now trying to sell a record. Because again, T.I.'s album is going to be releasing soon. And the BS sells, man. Unfortunately, the BS sells because T.I.'s record, Let Him Know, his new single, it's actually shot up to the 43rd position of the Billboard charts, which is the highest charting song T.I. has had in many years. And you could say that the publicity of this beef has helped bring more eyeballs to T.I.'s new music. It's a really dope song, though, so I hope it, does have longevity. Now, aside from that, we got another East Coast native kind of giving his thoughts on this entire situation, Joe Budden, on his podcast. And they broke down the entire situation to basically emphasize the fact that T.I. was kind of just calling 50 out on like a friendly celebration of their catalogs, as opposed to really taking this to an actual place where there's real beef. That's all that this versus was supposed to be, right? Is just a way to highlight both their legacies. But I don't know if it's the verses necessarily that 50 took as a sign of disrespect, or if it's the entire, narrative that T.I. was maybe building of how 50 Cent was scared of the verses itself, which in my opinion, I don't necessarily think 50 was scared of any verses. I think it was more so he thought he had, bigger and better things to do type of thing. But it was most definitely 50 that escalated this to unwarranted levels. And at this point, he doesn't look good. He looks really bad, actually, trying to erase everything from the timeline when he was the one that started this, right?
I know everybody's about to have something to say about 50 and his behavior. But where do y'all stand on somebody consistently calling somebody out to play that's not looking to pick up the phone?
That's hip hop.
Well, yeah. According to T.I., which he said on $1 Million Worth of Game, he gave an interview about this. And he specifically said, I bumped into 50 in L.A. We talked about it. He said, let's do it. He said, I'm going to go out in public and talk about it first and then pull you in.
I'm learning more and more that people don't really know how to read superstar talk.
Especially in L.A.
Here we go again with that's superstar talk. Yeah, oh yeah, man, let's do it. Yeah. When somebody in your face saying something that you don't give a fuck about, they do me all the time. Hey, Joe, man, we should do a pod, me and you. Oh yeah, man, sure, let's do it.
That means move.
That's how easy it is.
I didn't believe that story when I first heard it, just because 50's the kind of person that if I don't fuck with you, I don't fuck with you. And he's kind of made it clear back in the mid-2000s when he was dissing T.I. and calling him out for the charge he caught and how that case went. He kind of made it clear where he stood with T.I. So I don't and during the COVID times when he was asked about it, he was just like, yo, I'm not doing that. Don't leave me alone. I don't want to do it. So if I don't fuck with you and I said I don't want to do it, leave me alone. I don't see 50 now turning around saying
about somebody consistently calling out somebody who clearly don't give a fuck about versus.
But ain't even I don't give. But let me ask you about the person that has shown I don't fuck with you.
That's true.
And don't give a fuck about verses.
But if I saw you post that and you said X, Y, or Z, then is the person, again, I don't know what happened. I'm just being objective. If I saw you after that and you said, yo, yeah, let's do it. And I say, all right, cool. I'm a hype it up. I'm gonna hype it up and put some smoke behind it and then bring you in on it.
Yeah.
And even if you was bullshitting, I don't know you bullshitting.
It's his request. He's putting out memes and videos and stuff, and then he just starts putting Tiny up there.
Yes.
That's way outside the lines.
It's very outside the lines.
Y'all know I feel like that too.
Yes.
Yeah. But I also know that 50 don't feel like I feel.
Yeah, he don't care.
He don't feel like I feel. I think kids, your wife, your family, I'm not never playing like that with nobody.
Me neither.
He don't feel like that.
But, right. To me, though, it's like, if we're going to play like that, and I don't think you ever should, it should be in response to somebody else playing like that. At this point, T.I. still hadn't said or done nothing to warrant that. You called him a rat.
Mm-hmm.
He responded by saying, I don't respect this dude anymore. I don't even want to be on stage with him, because in another interview, they're like, would you still? He's like, I don't want to be on stage with dude. I don't respect him. We called him a duck, which apparently in Atlanta is some shit you don't want to be.
He said a lot.
He did.
Now, shout out to Chick Smooth, really dope YouTuber. You guys should check him out if you want like quick breakdowns, like right as they happen on pretty much anything within hip hop. But he brought up a really great point in that when T.I. initially had been talking about like 50 Cent and him behind the scenes were discussing doing a versus before T.I. ever made things public, and then 50 Cent just got too disrespectful on social media for no reason, and they had spoken on this before. There was an actual TV show that was trying to be developed behind the scenes that both 50 Cent and T.I. were supposedly teaming up on. So the timelines line up here, right? It's 2020 where T.I. says that he spoke to 50 behind the scenes about potentially doing a versus. That's when, he brings it to the public and then 50 gets all disrespectful. But as you can see here, in 2020, that's when they were developing this show 24/7, which was supposed to be an all-access drama series based on the memoir Notorious C.O.P. by the former NYPD hip-hop cop Derek Parker. And T.I. was actually supposed to act in the show as that NYPD Derek Parker, and 50 Cent would just executive produce the entire thing. And that's exactly what T.I. had said. They saw each other behind the scenes. They spoke on the possibility of a versus. And then T.I. said he would jump out the gate first and mention it. And that's when he did. However, according to 50, when they spoke behind the scenes, T.I. was just talking to him about plans of doing a comedy show. So, there's two sides to every story and only one truth in between. But as far as Joe Budden, he brings up another good point in that the only way to actually destroy 50 Cent in one of these battles is to simply out-rap him, right? At this point in his career, 50 Cent, I don't think is getting in a booth, but even back in the day, Jadakiss won his beef against 50 Cent because he out-rapped him. Rick Ross started making better music than 50, and because of that, in my opinion, ended up winning his beef against 50. We saw Fabulous recently drop a crazy verse on 50's head, and ever since then, Jim Jones kind of keeps making a bit of a fool out of himself and giving 50 some easy ammo, but you notice how 50 now has nothing to say to Fabulous, right? And also notice how he didn't delete any of the, Jim Jones's posts off his Instagram because he doesn't look bad in that beef. But with T.I., I don't think he wants the whole Harris family on his head top, and that's why he ends up deleting all his social media posts, and that's how you get to realize that the only way to beat 50 here is by actually doing something that maybe he doesn't have the skills at this point in his career to do, which is out-rap you.
I feel like people kind of have figured out that rapping is just how you do this with 50.
Yeah, he's not.
Because you're not going to rap.
He's not going to rap.
So the rapping kind of just settles all with him.
But this version of rapping is a little different than the other rapping we've seen. Sure. Because again, he's telling him, I'm with that too. Sure. Be clear. I'm talking to you in a song, but I'm with this.
It's like, yo, dog, everybody's scared of you. I ain't.
Yeah.
Right.
It's a better place to fight him because Instagram, he's going to win that.
He's going to win, hands down.
Yeah.
Not everybody care about that, yo.
That's true too.
Right. The 50 shit is tough, dog, because he's a star. Like, he's a star. He's a big star. You're not going to catch him. You're not going to catch him and do something to him, and it'll be more likely that he has people where you are before you have people where he is.
Right.
That's just as people are going about life, like not even on a plan. Like, Ja really went to go perform at the shit.
Yeah.
And niggas like, oh, word. Like, what do you do? What do you do? It's tough to deal with. You got to be ready to deal with all that comes with this stupid shit.
Mm-hmm. And I think that's the other reason, like you were saying, why people don't say much about him, is that. Niggas don't want to deal with that.
Yeah, that's bully shit. That's the shit. That's actually shit T.I.'s rapping about. It's bully shit. That's what I don't like about it. Sure. Like, I'm a fan of 50. I'm a fan of T.I. You know what I mean? It's not about the music. It's about just like, we ain't got to move this way. Like, you won. You up. You survived all this shit in life. You successful. Like,
both of them.
Yeah, just enjoy. But I'm talking about the 50. Like, enjoy the shit. T.I. seems to enjoy it. Sometimes with 50, as an outside observer, as a fan, it looks like almost like, are you happy? Like, it's like there always has to be a somebody to fuck with. There always has to be somebody to
See, I think that's where you get the happiness from.
And
I'm not. I don't
want to psychoanalyze him, but
I'm not gonna go that far.
I don't think you're wrong.
Before you get to him being a bully, he's sensitive.
A lot of bullies are,
and he'll tell you that. But knowing that, you kind of just like all of them interviews T.I. did. If you know you're talking about somebody who's sensitive and on a different type of time, like that person's gonna react this way, like. Because 50 will say, I don't fuck with nobody that's not fucking with me.
Yeah,
exactly. I hear that. But let's say, if your theory is right, and you're 50, then you know that you was blowing smoke up when you told T.I. let's go do this.
Oh, for sure.
So then,
not doing no fucking verses, nigga.
Then you shouldn't be sensitive when T.I.'s out there saying let's do the verses, because T's only doing the shit that I told him to go do.
Then we got to fight too if you put out a diss record and it's chock full of disses, and I'd start to feel like you wanted to say some of this stuff to me for a while. Like, this diss track feel like he just had a lot that he needed to say to 50 Cent. Because he in the track talking about New York, y'all gonna defend y'all king on this one. I never known nobody to call 50 Cent the king of New York. I've never heard that before.
He said it.
I haven't heard that one time in my rap life.
He said it.
I'm about to say maybe when the album was out.
He said it and ran around saying he was the king, though. So
he did have an album or mixtape called
Forever King. Yeah. But I'm just saying
niggas wasn't calling him the king when he had that out.
I know niggas wasn't, but he crowned just the same way. Wasn't nobody calling T.I. the king until he called himself the king of the South.
But niggas jumped on the bandwagon.
Niggas was calling him the king after he said it.
After that. So he's like, all right, ain't nobody else called themselves king
Why
of New York.
is T.I. looking at 50 like he's the king of New York?
Because he called the.
I don't know if
he
he
crowned
really
himself
said.
king, man.
I don't think he thinks he's the king as opposed to Jay or as opposed to whoever. I don't think he thinks. I think that's a good argument.
I don't think
for a battle.
50 Cent gives enough of a fuck about anything in music.
I don't either.
So this entire situation, guys, keeps getting worse, all right? Remember how T.I. had said, you can't call me a rat because I have your actual paperwork. Well, it looks like he actually gave that paperwork to his son King, because King had posted a document, a legal document, on his Instagram, which allegedly shows that 50 Cent had called in anonymously at first to request investigating Jimmy Henchman. And it says here, after further investigation, it was discovered that the phone used to place the anonymous tip, no pun intended, was connected to Curtis 50 Cent Jackson. Jackson confirmed that he was the person who placed the anonymous call and that he was in fear of his life following the death of Lodi Mack. When asked why he believes Henchman had a motive to murder Lodi, he stated that he believed Lodi was killed for the assault on Henchman's 14-year-old son that Lodi and various other band members from the G-Unit group had participated in. 50 had stated that he would cooperate with the investigation and would be willing to provide any information he may have in connection to shootings involving Jimmy Henchman. 50 had disclosed he was shot in the past, and the persons who attempted to unalive him had been hired by Irving Lorenzo, aka Irv Gotti, and Kenneth McGriff, aka Supreme, further asserting the fear for his life. And King most definitely knows how to troll on Instagram. He posted this with the caption saying, I got 21 questions, but just answer this one. So who was Lodi Mack? Do y'all know? Whoever he was, after he died, that's when Freaky Cent started to fear for his life. And, well, it's up there. This is who called my pops a rat with no black and white. Well, here's yours, sir. And T.I. would double down on 50 being a rat in his third diss track aimed at him called What Bully, where he would rap, boy, I remember you, you're Lodi Mack's little homie, turned special agent, informant, detective. Because, of course, that's what T.I.'s son would post on Instagram, the documents showing that 50 Cent had allegedly called in to investigate Jimmy Henchman after the loss of life of Lodi Mack. T.I. would continue rapping, to say the least, this guy's character is questionable. He'll do the stuff you have to go and get a detective to do. He might go making up some cases just for posting some stuff, but it'd be a small price to pay for me exposing a B. Let's get this stuff straight. I'm not Puff. I'm not walking up on you trying to buy you stuff. On IG behind them fences, right now you're tough. But get pop drop off at the bayou, bruh. The bayou, of course, being a swampy region with its highest concentration in Louisiana, which is where 50 Cent actually has his new film production studio. So this is definitely a dope diss track. I'll try to play a little snippet here if we don't get copyrighted, but you guys can look it up.
Cop, deuce it, tuck tail, flee your fight. Supposed to be a bullet, I can't tell. But I remember you loaded Matt, la homie. Turn special agent, informant, detective.
The cover art's even more insane. He's got 50 Cent here looking extra skinny, and this was, I believe, when he was, losing a lot of weight to train for a character in a movie role. And T.I. had captioned it saying, message to the DILDO dealer. I don't make memes, I make music. I don't give a F what you erase. You keep posting, it'll equal problems. Hashtag what bully. So after T.I. would drop this diss record, 50 would actually post another picture of Tiny on Instagram with the caption saying, okay, I changed my mind. But he would go on to delete that as well, you guys. And then we would get the fourth diss track from T.I. called Lessons. And it's here where he's kind of just, going over what he's already said in the past, which is that, he doesn't make memes, he makes music, all right? And he's basically stating to 50 Cent, you're attacking all these women, right? You're attacking the mother of my children, Beyonce's mother. Why don't you bring that smoke here? Because whenever you attack me, you end up deleting your Instagram post, and I'm here, belt to butt, right? Like, this is the fourth diss track I've released. He rapped on it saying, every time I look up, this HO want to get into it and beef. I hate a bully. Come and do it to me. He beat on females, and I know the details. Could be a free L to hand out, but I know he tell. He juggling Johnson, huh? Must be on DL. I'ma spank that baby. Don't give no F about how he feels. You bully everybody. Offer no compassion. It's cool. Then playing victim like a Karen when it happens to you. Now, aside from, T.I. dropping his own diss records, the proudest moment he has probably had to have in this beef is when his other son, Domani, sorry for mispronouncing his name, but he's an insane rapper, all right? And he dropped his own version of Meet the Grams by Kendrick Lamar. Yes, he is rapping to 50 Cent's deceased mother, Mrs. Jackson, on a track called, you guessed it, Mrs. Jackson. He rapped, Miss Jackson, am I overreacting or is it valid? I want to have a one-on-one convo about the man you sacrificed your life for so the world could see his talent. He's a legend now, I guess it worked out, but I need some answers. Are you happy with the way he's been holding your family name? I need to know because I can't sleep at night thinking you died in vain. I think it got to him. People won't tell him because he pays them. Maybe it's something that you can tell me to bring some understanding. I'm more level-headed than the people headed to his mansion. Pardon me if I'm digging it. Hate to have you reliving it. You're supposed to be resting, but I just got a few questions. Do you whisper in his ear before he makes his decisions? Can he hear you past the nervous laugh he do when he's timid? And is it really half the talent took to bask in them gimmicks led to the actual business? He used to be something. We thought it was a joke, but now we see it's something off with him. I offered him a chance to reunite with you, and I'll do it. Nothing left to do, so I'll just send him to you, Mrs. Jackson. And then he pens the second verse to 50 Cent himself, rapping, "Hey Curtis, I encourage you to do a little research on my whole family, but you can start with me first. I know you're not familiar with a mother or a father." It's crazy because, of course, he lost his mother at the age of 8 and his father was never really present in his life. But T.I.'s son continues, "Maybe that's the reason easily you'll talk about him. Maybe that's the reason you be targeting the women. Let somebody try your mama, I bet you probably want to kill him. Speaking of killing, Curtis, I heard you was a firebug. Well, I'ma be the reason all your fans put their lighters up. Put those lighters up if you dealt with abuse, if you're no longer enthused with a guy running around profiting off our pain. Love it when we fall down, that's when Curtis gets paid. Many men sin, but don't profit like you from it. You don't even drink, but you'll fake it for the news coverage." Because, of course, you know, all this beefing, like I mentioned before, every time 50 Cent posts a meme on his Instagram, he hashtags it with his vodka company brand. So here he's saying you don't even drink, but you're going to profit off other people abusing these products that you're pushing. And I mean, the way he ends this off is pretty crazy too. I mean, he says, "Seem like you know 50 Cent more than you know Curtis." And he finishes the verse off rapping, "The next time you're missing mama, I can send you right to her. Try your luck." And this could be one of the more insane things to come out of this beef. So you have King here who posted a video of him wearing 50 Cent's deceased mother on a t-shirt while feeding her a blunt. And Rick Ross comments, "I'm going to need that t-shirt in a triple XL, lil bro." Now you could say this is taking it too far, but you got to remember what 50 Cent posted about the mother of these individuals' children and the fact that all T.I. wanted to do was keep this on the music, celebrate their catalogs, and all he has personally done so far in this battle is take it to the booth and keep it focused on the music with 4 different diss tracks. So beyond whether or not we're even debating if T.I. can handle 50 in a verses, we gotta first see 50 Cent actually handle this verses between both T.I. and his children. And honestly, I don't even know if he can. But let me know what you guys think, and I'll catch you in the next one.
I study
Rapaholics
for a living.